Today on the Topping Show, Lakin Riley's killer is found guilty in court. Representative Mace introduces a bill to ban men from going into women's washrooms in Capitol Hill, which does, of course, call for a trans activist to call for her death. A school district reverses a policy and will now no longer allow boys to go into girls' washrooms or compete in their sports. Target Q3, well, their earnings are in and they're not good. The stock crashed by about 21%. And Tom's Maine toothpaste is found to contain bacteria. All of that and much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day because he's quite handsome and brilliant. Tease me, see that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, we're still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Target Q3 results are in, and they're abysmal to say the least because, their stock crashed by about 21%. Granted, you have to have that little caveat. This is not financial advice. Shoot, hindsight is always 20/20, and in this case, glad it did not invest in Target stock, and long term, still haven't been doing good. So we'll dive into the article. But let's take a quick look at their stock long term. Now, usually you want to be able to at least keep up with, if not beat, the S&P 500. That's usually the goal of most businesses. And in this case, no, quite the antithesis. They did the opposite of that. They actually lost value. So long term, yeah, this is a 5-year trend, and they're currently trading for, yes, by the time this video is rendered and uploaded, it'll be different. That's what the stock market does. Currently trading for $122.12 per share. Now, in the past year, it's down 3.42%. So while most companies increased in value, they found a way to decrease their value. I partially blame, they did actually, as the cliche says, go woke, go broke by carrying satanic materials. In this case, not being bombastic, they literally had an enamel pin. Don't get me wrong, sure it's a high Chinesium quality metal, but it's an enamel pin of Satan that said respect pronouns, as well as having children apparel that had trans pride and even tucked swimsuits. A niche market for sure. I'm sure it did gangbuster sales in San Francisco, but overall, there's a lot of pushback from those initiatives. And yeah, they also had, almost $1 billion in retail theft last year. Probably enforce the law one of these days. Now, again, it's down 3.42% in the past 5 years. Now, the past 1 year, it's actually up 20%. So that looked pretty good until you zoom in a little bit more. So in the past 1 year, yeah, up 20.32%. Year to date, up 12%. That's almost kind of good. Then past month, 3%, and then last week, it absolutely crashed by 21.72%. Now, going to the article by Yahoo Finance, the OG search engine from back in the day, which somehow still exists. And this is credited to Brian Sozzi, who's a writer over there, which they say, quote, Target CEO says, quote, guidance for some conservatism as the retailer missed earnings estimates ahead of the holidays, which, yeah, we'll see what happens Q4. That's when most businesses are back in black. Not just an exceptional song by AC/DC, which incidentally, not an electric company. Thought it was back in the day. But no, it is one most companies, they call it Black Friday for a reason. That's when you used to have the physical ledger that you wrote down, an actual pen and ink. Red would be loss, and then black would be a profit. That's why I used to call it, getting back in the black. Now, they say, quote, a few months after suggesting a sales turnaround, Target has offered up earnings misfire. The retail giant badly missed third quarter Wall Street profit forecast / full year guidance. Ooh, it's even worse. Simply said, they're saying, oh yeah, here's the goal for the year. Well, we did so bad, we're going to lower that goal. Yeah, investors don't like hearing that. They said that tanking nearly 21%, early market trading at the heels of the quarterly results. Going to the details, and of course, contrast Walmart, still doing pretty good. Again, not financial advice, but Walmart's been going up pretty consistently. It's $86 per share. Again, high since 2020. I know some people are buying it. It was at $34 per share. And they've been going up ever since, slowly but surely. Well, so let's actually go to get some granular numbers here. Oh, how appropriate. The pop-up talks about the Pride apparel that Target had, which again was pretty controversial and turned off a lot of investors and shoppers as well. Here you can see the Target earnings miss for March for Q3 2024. Here you're seeing the operating income. And yeah, 2021 has basically been down past couple years. I was going to say Q2 2022 being the absolute worst. Net earnings, revenue, pretty stagnant. Now again, see the outlier there? Every Q4 for them, revenue goes up by, what is this, about $10 billion increase on average between Q3 and Q4. Because again, that's when most companies do their best. So, I mean, they technically went up a little bit from Q2 to Q3, but barely an improvement. So not looking good, Target, or some people could say Target, which, incidentally enough, one of my favorite books from last year was called On Target. It talks about the history of the company. That Target thing has been around since the 60s. I didn't realize it was that old of a saying. But I only partially digress, getting back to the more granular numbers in the reports here. Now, sorry, let me see here. The net sales are up only 1.1% year over year to $25.7 billion. Now, the estimates that they told Wall Street was $25.74 billion. Gross profit margin was 27.2% versus 27.4% a year ago. Estimates were calling for 28.7%. Comparative sales were up 0.3% year over year, which also known as negligible or terrible. I mean, I'd almost call that a rounding error because you have to take into account inflation, so that dollar's worth less and less every year, unfortunately. Now, they estimated sales to increase not by 0.3%, by 1.48%, which, yeah, that's not great as well. The digital comparable sales did go up 10.8%. Store comparable sales were down 1.9%, so that's good for the e-commerce platform because it shows more people are starting to buy their Target materials online. They also had the recent subscription, like every company on the planet, so maybe that'll be taking off as well. They noted that the company also did a stock repurchase, so $354 million. So hinting they're thinking the stock is worth more than it is. Time shall tell to see if that's actually true. But not great news for Target. They're slashing their earnings from, oh wow, taking it down to $2.45 per share, or earnings per share. They ended the quarter about $3.4 billion in cash. Number of transactions did increase by 2.4%. So a couple highlights, but overall, just missing those numbers. Pretty much the worst thing possible they can do. And yeah, I suspect their competitors, Walmart, will probably be doing a little bit better. Again, it's one of those things that I actually find it fascinating that people spend money to shop at Target, because you could literally just go to Walmart to get the exact same things for a fraction of the price. Granted, the ambiance of the store is not quite as well. There's a not negligible percentage point that you might be attacked in there. Sure, to me it makes it more exciting, exhilarating. You gotta be able to dodge and really be quick and on your toes. But this one of those instances where, and I have friends who shop at Target, mainly, friends with families and all that kind of stuff. The ladies love them Target. But let me know in the comments, do you think things will pick up for Target Q4? I mean, again, look at the historicals, and that's usually their best time of year. And consumer sentiment has seemed to be increasing after the election results. Do you think people are going to go back and spend even more money at Target, or maybe they'll keep shifting over to Walmart? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the cultural part podcast, you have Representative Nancy Mace introducing a bill banning biological men from going to girls' bathrooms in D.C. And she posted a viral video, which we'll take a look at right now. Now, this comes to us thanks to Representative Nancy Mace herself on the good old X, or as 3 people, I think, still call it Twitter. Or if you're British, you call it Twitter, which, like most British things, does sound funny and amusing. Now, straight from her account, she says, quote, "I never thought we would need a sign for this, but women's restrooms are for biological women and not men." And here you can see her right outside the women's restroom right there. Now, sure, it's just rudimentary handwritten. Granted, her handwriting is much more eloquent than mine. You can actually read what she says. And she just takes a piece of, looks like, now, I'm a little disappointed she didn't use cardstock. This is just a piece of printer paper. I understand it gets the point across, but I mean, there's already folds on that. It does not look very professional. Now, if you really want to do grade A trolling, she should have 3D printed a sign, perhaps, or go to your local Kinko's. Well, I know they're no longer in existence. Perhaps a FedEx print shop or something to that effect, and get a really nice, really thick sign. That, I mean, even a woke, soy boy could take that sign down. I mean, that's, I think, only held up by Scotch tape. At least do something like ticky tack. I mean, that would probably be above the strength or grip strength of most leftists. But nevertheless, she does have she added a little, maybe a half of a piece of printer paper, and it simply says biological, and is in front, or rather on top of the placard that says women. Then it has a picture of a gal in a dress and the handicap gal. Or no, isn't the handicap logo unisex? It should have a dress in that handicap logo. We need to fix that, America. Really get better with our marketing. But I was going to say, it's about halfway through. Let's see, did she say anything? No. She does end it with simply, Office of Congressman Nancy Mace. I thought there'd be something else. A little boring of an ending. Gets her name on the page, I guess. Interestingly enough, we'll see if she does any comic relief. Sure, she has some, I don't know. I think that maybe do an SNL where she has some of her friends cross-dressed and she hits them with a mace. And it is something to the kin of Nancy Mace is the mace of protecting the bathroom. Something to that effect. I'm sure how she not leaned into her name more? I mean, your name is Mace. Why not lean into the pun? I mean, that's barely even a name at all. It's kind of comical. It's almost as ridiculous as be called something like topping, like a pizza. Oh, but I partially digress. And, of course, this went pretty darn viral. Got 9.9 million views, as well as 96,000 likes. And another friendly reminder to click that like button below. Or dislike it, leave a comment, and let me know why. Or tell your friends, or your enemies. They might be so irate that you send this, kind of akin to poking the bear, so perhaps not recommended. But maybe your enemies then become your friends because you bond over the eloquence of my show. I'm not saying the Las Vegas odds of that are even close to 1%, but it is technically a percentage point somewhere along the line. Now, going to the top comments, one of the first ones comes from Valentina Gomez. Says, quote, "You're a clout chaser, Nancy." This is about 39 seconds long. This is, again, Valentina Gomez. She has to say.
A chick with a dick is trying to use the women's restroom in Congress, and now all the hypocrites are trying to get publicity and more Twitter followers. But where was this energy when Leah Thomas and other men infiltrated women's sports and spaces over 3 years ago?
Good question.
These politicians don't care if your little girl gets brain damage from being forced to play against a man. They only care when it affects them. These are not public servants. These are opportunists. I may just have to run for Congress and show these clowns how to protect women and children from pedophiles, groomers, and chicks with dicks.
I'm actually surprised. How's she not? For some reason, I thought Valentina Gomez was running for Congress or some political position. But nevertheless, that's a good question. Where were you 3 years ago, Miss Mace? I mean, one of the most controversial cultural things in the United States was Leah Thomas stealing away opportunities from Riley Gaines in the collegiate swimming divisions, which, yes, some people do watch swimming. To me, it's pretty boring. But nevertheless, people do watch and tune into swimming competitions. And again, scholarships are stolen. Women are literally getting their bones broken and being beaten up when biological men are invading their sports. I mean, just yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I reported on a volleyball player, a biological male, who hit a girl so hard she broke a bone, and the guy laughed at her. Disgusting. Other top comments come from Gunther Eagleman, says epic, getting 319 likes. E. Miles Chong says you're going to make the Dems mad, getting 249 likes. Patriarch Hannah, which I haven't seen her post in a while. She has some pretty hilarious memes. She says, quote, "It's kind of funny that you were the first woman to graduate from a formerly all-male school, and now you're mad at the men for taking over women's spaces. You contributed to this, Nancy." Interesting. I didn't know that. Paul Zupa also says it's 2024, and some Democrats still don't understand basic biology. Getting 20 likes. Well, they're also the same people who say men can get pregnant. Which, again, if anyone ever starts to... it's kind of a good way to just combat any Democrat position. If they say anything at all, just be like, wait a minute. Talk about science. You believe men can get pregnant? That's your party ideal? Really? You also have Heidi Lindsay saying, quote, "I don't wake up every day wondering what genitals other people have. Nancy Miles is that person. So weird." The contrarian statement gave 4.2 thousand likes. Retired publicist says, "How about this?" And they have backed in signs, and instead of saying men and women, it's simply XYXX on the doors, getting 1,000 likes. The Horse Whisperer says, "You're such a performative ass," getting 5.2 thousand likes. Ooh, she's getting roasted. Base Electrician simply has a picture, instead of the biological woman or the women's washroom sign, it's a picture of herself. Got 9 likes, kind of funny. Rick, he, him, gay pride flag emoji says, also, how are you sure you are a biological female? Some of us have doubts. Getting 1.1 thousand likes. Yeah, I don't know about that. Bruce Balau says, never back down from these delusional Fs, getting 420 likes. Rick, he, him also says, quote, "So you're going to inspect everyone's genitals before they enter a restroom? That's a creepy as F." Getting 1.1 thousand likes, which, yeah, I don't think anyone with a modicum of intelligence thinks that's actually going to happen. Now, we also have Jenna Hoach saying biological women are the only kind of women, getting 634 likes. Mecca Michelle, A+ for marketing, you know exactly what she's all about. She says, "You're awesome. Don't let these people bully you. Thank you for what you're doing." Getting 325 likes. Let's see. Trying to see. Yeah, pretty good actually a pretty good mix of left, right, and middle opinions down here, as this is, become a political issue as well. Let's see. Rick McGuire says your reply and says, this is from Will Tanner saying she destroyed male-only spaces, demanding the Citadel open to women, and obviously an egregious, terrible idea if the goal is to build masculine camaraderie of the sort of that wins wars. That got 113 likes. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. Interesting, very long profile name. You don't know the power of the dog side. Interesting. And it's not Snoop Dogg's or Darth. It has a picture of Darth Vader. So it's not about the Snoop Dogg. And he says sign of the times. And it's just a screenshot of Representative Nancy Mace. So pretty good mix of opinions. Again, maybe she's just looking to score political points. Who knows in terms of, how authentic this really is. It is a good question. Where was she, when a lot of people are calling for action for collegiate swimming to be protected and female sports to be protected years ago? And let me know, do you think this will long-term help her in a career? Do you think she's being authentic? And what do you think the cultural preferences in the United States? I think, again, Trump did win, first time in 20 years, he won the popular vote as well as winning electoral college. To me, I think that hints that a majority of Americans are against having biological men in female washrooms. But let me know in the comments, do you think we're still seeing that cultural shift in that way? Do you think it's going to pendulum will swing the other? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, it'll be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have a trans activist calling for the death of Representative Nancy Mace after she calls and introduces a bill to ban biological men going into women's washrooms in DC. Now, this also comes to us thanks to Lives of TikTok on the good old X, or as 5 people may still call it, Twitter, which does always sound funnier when you pronounce it in the British accent. Now, it's actually from this trans activist. I don't know if this is their, what do you call this? Is this the Facebook story? Something like that. Now, Liv's TikTok says, quote, this trans activist is now openly posting death threats against Representative Nancy Mace, #FBI, which, once Trump is in office, maybe these people will be prosecuted, but currently, only one side of political aisle is ever prosecuted. And more horrifying is when, they're just go after innocent people, like people praying outside abortion clinics and throw them in jail at gunpoint. That's what the current federal government does with their resource allocation. And looks like, cover your ears if you're children listening. This person's profile name in and of itself is egregious and ridiculous. And that's coming from someone whose name is Topping. But I don't have too much ground to stand on perhaps, but that wasn't, I didn't choose my name. It was given to me. But this person chose his profile name. This profile's name is Venus Penis. Yeah. As creepy as their profile picture, so I should give a disclaimer or a visual warning. You're going to see that in a New York Minute here. And pretty rudimentary. They have a picture of a kitchen knife, not a cleaver, I forget what you call it per exact implement, but it simply says, prepare to die. And they, oh, Jesus. Again, if the government was actually prosecuting everyone equally, this person would already be heavily questioned, if not already on trial. Because they literally said, prepare to die, and they tagged the this is how openly not scared of any. This is how much the left know they can get away with crime, and they just have no fear of any accountability. They literally tag Representative Nancy Mace in this, which, again, specific articulate threats are not protected speech in the United States. So this person could say, like, hey, Representative Nancy Mace, I think your ideals are terrible. I think you're disgusting. I don't like you. But when you're saying prepare to die, it's not a specific date or time. Like, they're not. But I'm pretty sure, and let me know in the comments if you think differently, I'm pretty sure that meets most requirements to be considered a legitimate threat. Now, we're going to see this individual's profile picture, and spoiler alert, it's quite horrifying. It is, oh dear God, yeah. So it looks like it's a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost as if Macaulay Culkin continued to do drugs, put on a thong, grew out his hair, and got some surgery, and is standing in front of a Christmas tree. Definitely inebriated, since this person's nearly naked outside. It looks like there's snow on the ground. Perhaps redundant saying this person is inebriated. Clearly not making the most logical of life choices. And yep, do you think this? One of those things where I doubt this person will even be. I doubt the FBI will even look at this post, let alone do a modicum of investigation. Granted, maybe when Trump is in office, the law will be equally applied. But yeah, I'm pretty skeptical. And it went pretty viral. Got 3.6 million views as well as 15,000 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. With one of the first ones coming from Gunther Eagleman, who says, quote, "These people are sick," getting 1.8 thousand likes. Costello simply says, "We need this resolved now." Hashtag. I laugh because when I think of justice and like protecting people, I don't think these are going to help. He actually tagged the FBI, the CIA, the Capitol Police, and the Department of Homeland Security, which, again, they're very busy bullying, law-abiding citizens and people praying outside abortion clinics. They don't have time to go after the actual threats. I mean, you might as well tag the Secret Service. Lord knows how inept they are these days. Or corrupt. Or, as Archer might say, little column A, little column B. You also have AKA saying simply, "This is insane," getting 514 likes. Planet of Memes failed yet again. They did not, in fact, respond in meme form, but they did type this out. This alleged Planet of Memes says, quote, "Yikes, this person needs to be arrested," getting 763 likes. Paul Zupa says, "The Party of Tolerance," getting 313 likes. Yep. Anti-left memes, they get an A+ for marketing. They did, in fact, respond in meme form. And they have the NPC leftist gals saying, "Stop, we're not," or he says before the meme, woke gender people need to be stopped from doing this." They have all the NPC woke leftist people with the short, colorful hair. And they say, "Stop saying we're all violent." And the trad man says, "Well, stop being violent." And that got 1.5 thousand likes. We also have Junita Broderick saying we need more prisons and mental institutions, getting 2.2 thousand likes. Which, yeah, Reagan, as perfect as people say he is, not so much. He was a contributing factor of the mental institutions being abolished, as well as, banning machine guns to the point where no one can afford them. He was not perfect. Miss B says, "You liberals need to get your lunatics under control," getting 163 likes. See here. White with Memes, well, it's more of a statistic. I don't know if it's technically a meme. Says, "Let's talk about the mental health crisis of the left. 25% liberals are on medication for mental illness. That's scary. That means 75% are running around untreated," getting 587 likes. I guess that could constitute a meme. You also have anti-woke memes saying, "Make these institutions great again." So Simpson's picture of a mental institution says, "Where the woke used to live before the 70s," getting 726 likes. Which, I can't help but think there's going to be even more mental breakdowns on the day of the inauguration when Trump is sworn in. I mean, I'll see them going silently into the night. I see them crying and thrashing into the night. So it'll be an interesting next few weeks. Oh, shoot, I was going to say, I was going to say a couple months, but time goes by so quick, it'll probably feel like tomorrow by the time it gets there. So, pretty interesting to see, another threat coming, and will it actually be prosecuted? Will it actually be investigated? I don't want to say the odds are zero, but probably 0.000003%. Not technically zero, but let me know in the comments. Do you think this type of behavior will continue to grow culturally? Do you think they'll ever die down or decrease or stabilize themselves? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news is you have a school district banning boys from going to women's restrooms, as well as reversing their previous policy that allowed them to compete in sports as well. Now this comes to us thanks to End Wokeness, when she says, quote, "Breaking: Watertown School District bans males from girls' bathrooms and sports in a reversal from the 2016 policy." And this should have got more views, but only got 448,000 views and 10,000 likes. And it's thanks to ABC, our local affiliate, and the title is Trans School Policy Debate.
I believe that a girl should be in the girls' restroom and a boy should be in the boys' restroom.
After more than an hour of heated public comment.
"You are killing me! You are killing trans people!"
How? By not allowing you to go to the girls' washroom, that is akin to killing them? How mentally weak and unstable are these people? Well, we know quite, but back to the video.
Board members approved a new plan requiring students to use the bathroom that matches their biological sex. Students also have to play sports teams that match their biological sex.
I was relieved that I feel like girls' sports won't be taken away from them. Their bathrooms will be safe. They won't have to worry about undressing in the locker room with men that should not be there.
The previous guidelines had been in place since 2016, allowing students to use bathrooms and play on teams matching the gender they identified with.
So more and more of these anecdotal stories kind of make me feel that the pendulum is swinging back to sanity, and we're going to have more people realizing that, no, you should not have biological boys going to women's washrooms or competing on their teams. Now going to the top comments, you have one from Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, "It's happening, common sense is coming back," getting 401 likes. TaskFast84 says this needs to happen in every school nationwide, getting 154, wow, 162 likes. It's going up like an Nvidia stock. Paul Zupa says the pendulum is swinging back to sanity, which, good pun, you read my mind right there. We also have, let's see, Hugo Vowell says, "Imagine needing a law to ban biological males from entering female bathrooms. How dumb have we become?" Getting 154 likes. Let's see. Going down more and more. Not seeing any contrarian statements. Larry Pill Meme says, "I love this shirt." And say busty attractive woman, and t-shirt says, "Real women aren't men," getting 88 likes. Justin Garage says, "This is great. More precedent being set that these policies can be reversed," getting 36 likes. Yep. This is the greatest. The Seinfeld meme back when there was a chicken episode where Kramer's whole apartment was just light up in red because of the chicken store sign. But they, changed it so that it's the U.S. Election results by district, not state. And this from Sandra Loftus saying yes. And Jerry goes to Kramer, which it'll probably be the worst Jerry Seinfeld impression, but I'll try it. Kramer, what's going on in there?" Then Kramer responds, said, "Trump's back, Jerry." Getting 19 likes. We'll make that 20 because I appreciate the Seinfeld pun or meme. Chris World said, "And finally we're making sense again," getting 31 likes. One Bad Dude says this needs to happen everywhere, getting 48 likes as well. Going down more and more. Larry Pill Memes has a trad, or is it the trad man talking to NPC or the NPR guy? The the trad guy says, "I believe in God." And the NPC guy goes, "You believe in fairy tales?" And then the other picture is the NPC guy who has a beard, but he also threw on a wig and makeup and goes, "I believe I'm a woman." And the NPC guy goes, "Yes, me too. So stunning and brave," getting 24 likes. Going down more and more. Not seeing too many contrarian comments here. Granted, that doesn't mean they don't exist. They're mostly in San Francisco. But yeah, I think we're going to see more and more of this. Because again, especially with the girls getting physically injured in these types of competitions, especially with collegiate sports, and more of these incidents of harm happening. I think we're going to see a cultural shift where more and more schools are going to have the policy of, no, if you're a biological man, you cannot go into the field and washroom, you cannot compete on their team. And I think it might be even, if Trump does not get rid of the Department of Education, maybe he's going to have an instance in which they'll decrease or eliminate federal funding if they do allow that to happen in schools. That's another possibility that, from a political level, might be done to protect the gals. But let me know in the comments, are we finally starting to see the trend reverse? And do you think more people are going to get on that and pressure the schools to actually do the right thing? Let me know, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Lakin Riley's killer is found guilty. Now, this comes to us thanks to End Wokeness, and is actually first reported by Fox News, which somehow still in business. Now, he says, quote, "Breaking: illegal alien Jose Abrera is found guilty on all counts for killing Lakin Riley. Time for the electric chair." Playing about 1 minute long here. Let's see here.
Ibarra, illegal alien, accused of killing Lakin Riley. Hearing the verdict now. Let's watch.
Count 1, malice murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2,
Look at those soulless eyes. Zero regret. Just no remorse.
Murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 3, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 4, felony murder. I find the defendant guilty. Count 5, kidnapping with bodily injury. I find the defendant guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault with intent to rape. I find the defendant guilty. Count 7, aggravated battery. I find the defendant guilty. Count 8, obstructing or hindering a 911 call. I find the defendant guilty. Count 9, tampering with evidence. I find the defendant guilty. Count 10, peeping Tom. I find the defendant.
So I wish he got a really harsh sentence, but it sounds like that might be off the table according to some of the comments. Now, Brett Previle got 350,000 views as well as 13,000 likes. The first comments coming from Paul Zuzupa saying, quote, "Time to try Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for treason and sentencing them to life in prison," getting 338 likes, which Again, never forget, they're the ones who got rid of all the Trump policies and enabled a open border with basically zero security. And spoiler, if you're new to the story, Lakin Riley was killed by this illegal alien. Now, AKA also says, see ya never, UPOS. Kamala should be charged as well, getting 372 likes. Libercat Media TM says, say her name, Lakin Riley, rest in peace, getting 57 likes. Joanne Maga says, death penalty was taken off the table. Unfortunately, now we, the taxpayers, must have to feed this MFer, which, yeah, I can't believe that's taken off the table. That's ridiculous. I don't know if that's because of a plea deal or what, but Old School Eddie says, Jose Abrera should not be granted the option of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Instead, he should be given a severity and nature of his crimes. This case strongly argues in favor of capital punishment, getting 236 likes. Yep. 6531 Marine says, bring back and use it until the sun goes down. It's a gif of a noose, getting 72 likes. Burke Macklin says, good capital, I was going to say, can't pronounce things today, but if you click that subscribe button, I have a theory. When I first started the show, basically no subscribers and, well, maybe family, and I pronounced things terribly. And truth be told, stumbled over my words worse than Joe Biden climbing upstairs and spoke even faster. However, as I slowly but surely gain more subscribers, I become slightly more articulate. Yes, the bar was quite low, but technically speaking, a modicum of improvement. So I have a theory. More people that click that subscribe button, the better the show will get, because I'll be able to speak better. So if you can do me a favor and click that button, I really appreciate it. That was what I was attempting to say was Burke Macklin said, quote, good, catapult him into the sun, getting 79 likes. Justin Van Sant says, Lakin Riley deserves to be alive. The policies of Biden-Harris murdered her, but a guilty verdict is at least justice for her and her family, getting 65 likes. Harry Murray says, good news, justice served. Now focus on the people that allowed him into the country due to their policies, getting 11 likes. Don Wick says, public hanging and live telecast for the world to see, getting 35 likes. Which, yeah, surprised. There should be more, in my opinion, I'm surprised that more states don't have the death penalty. I'm kind of curious, what are they up to right now? I know they've passed it in a few more past couple of years. But right now, let's see how many. That's according to Grok, the AI from Twitter. It looks like only 24 states have the death penalty. Interesting. So I'm not sure, and I'm guessing this is a plea deal, which they took that off the table because he pleaded, maybe. I also have Red Wave Press saying, quote, yes, and that's the only punishment that should be handed down to this monster, getting 39 likes. The Salty Texan says, Kamala Harris and illegitimate Joe Biden should be on trial for this first-degree murder, getting 16 likes. I Love American News says, under Kamala Harris, 15 plus million illegal immigrants, 30 tons of deadly fentanyl, 360 people added to the terror watch list have entered into the United States. Got 8 likes. Florida One says, no capital punishment sought by Soros DA. Soros DA Deborah Gonzalez says that she will not be seeking the death penalty against Lakin Riley's killer. Yep. Let me actually see here. Pretty long. Is that a legal paper that they published out or the judge's opinion? So it says this office will, quote, no longer seek the death penalty. Cases which are legal eligibility for death penalty are eligible for sentence of life without parole and life without parole eligibility after serving 30 years. While these sentences constitute very substantial punishment. Decisions to seek sentence of life without parole are death sentence of life in prison. Decisions to seek sentences of life without parole must be made by district attorney. Yeah. Looks like the office, as youth might say, go woke or go broke. Well, not really broke because there's DA's getting reelected, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm guessing that's the office, or that's from the judge's office that came down with this decision saying, oh yeah, we're not going to seek the death penalty. So, yep, this is one of the really heartbreaking and horrifying effects of politics is sometimes the bad policies lead to some very bad people entering the United States, in this case, committing murder and abuse against people. In this case, a young American citizen. And let me know, do you think, I think stories like this are one of the reasons Trump won the recent presidential election. I think he's going to, secure that border pretty darn good. And again, this is I'm not sure if anything can be done from a federal level, because again, this was it was tried within the state of Georgia. But yeah, most of the comments here are calling for the death penalty. Let me know in the comments, are you pro-death penalty? Do you think this person should, this person deserves the electric chair? Yeah, I think definitely they read off the crimes, they're pretty heinous and egregious, but let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Tom's of Maine toothpaste. Well, had some bacteria, and that's not good. Now this comes to us thanks to NBC News. There you can see the iconic Tom's toothpaste for $20 a bottle. I'm kidding, it's not that overpriced, but it's up there. Now let's say, and this is credited, let's see here, thanks to Marlene, who's a writer over there, saying, quote, Tom's of Maine toothpaste contained bacteria containing water. The company said it's working with the FDA to remedy issues found in their agency's May inspection, including an upgrade to its Sanford plant's water system. Looks like Tom's Wicked Cool Natural Toothpaste, a little picture there, which, yeah, I can't help but think they probably spent more money on the printing of that toothpaste bottle than my entire toothpaste bottle of Epsodent that I usually buy. Now, they say, quote, the FDA inspection of Tom's of Maine manufacturing facility led to the discovery of, quote, significant violations, including bacteria in the water used to make toothpaste and black mold-like substance. Perhaps a good example of paying more does not always get you more in life. Because, yeah, I think these toothpastes are like, what is it, 2 to 3 times? How much is a tube? How much is this crap? Let's see, Tom's of Maine I'm curious, of Maine toothpaste sale. What does a tube of Tom's toothpaste go for? Let's see. Tom's of Maine. Let's go to Amazon. That's one of the cheapest options out there. All right. They want to sell me aluminum-free deodorant? Ridiculous. Just get this stupid toothpaste you guys sell. Oh, let's see here. Looks like $6 for a tube? That's ridiculous. 99 cents a tube is just fine. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Yeah, and it says mold-like substances. Now, they also know that the FDA sent a warning letter November 5th to the parent company, Colgate, which, again, big toothpaste. What don't they own? Pepsodent is one of the last independent ones. But nevertheless, they say that they also detailed how the microorganisms were found in the water samples, and they actually had even tested some samples of the toothpaste itself in Maine. Now, Tom's of Maine said in a statement that is working with the FDA to remedy issues. Now, they know that, I was going to say, great Scrabble word. Truth be told, I don't think I can pronounce it properly. I'll make the attempt. Cytodumus aeruginosa, which can cause infections in blood and lungs, according to the CDC, was recovered from multiple water samples from June 2021 to October 2022. The water was used to manufacture Tom's Simply White Clean Mint Paste and for the final rinse of numerous equipment cleaning processes. The bacteria Ralstonia insodiasa, which sounds like a city in Russia, but apparently it's also a bacteria, also recovered from water points of use. Now, FDA said, quote, batches manufactured after these incidents were released based on the microbial testing of the finished OTC product, despite the quality of water used as a component to clean the equipment. That's not good. Another bacteria, geez Louise, is this a wrapper or bacteria? Paracosius yeei, Y-E-E-I, was found in the final batch of product Wicked Cool anti-cavity toothpaste as well. Let's see, not great for Tom's. Of course, there's, Tom says, quote, we're committed to making safe and effective natural products for our consumers and maintaining trust in our brand. Well, we'll see. They also say we've always tested our finished goods when they leave our control and remained fully confident in the safety and quality of the toothpaste we make. Well, I don't know about that. But yeah, when your toothpaste costs 6 times as much as the competition, I can't help but wonder, or I can't help but think you probably have enough profit margin to go above and beyond, especially when it comes to quality assurance and testing everything. So definitely not good for what, I don't know, all the people at Whole Foods buy as a premium product to have it, oh yeah, there's some bacteria in your equipment, even some potential mold and more bacteria than I can possibly pronounce properly. So definitely gotta say, Tom's of Maine, you are certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.